Hi, my name is Langa Mavuso. I am a singer, songwriter, and composer. I am a performer, and I just love all things music. I call myself the son of the sun, the biggest star in our orbit. So my musical journey began from a very, very young age. When I was around 8 or 9 years old, my friends and I were playing a game of Coca-Cola Pop Stars. And one of the older kids in the complex, who happens to be Upumeza Mtabe, she walks past and she goes, "You can really sing, you know?" And so we then continued to play it and then she eventually asked me, "Hey, actually, can you sing this Whitney Houston song for me?" So I learned the song one day. Then on the Friday we went to her house and we sang the song, and she really ignited the confidence in me to know that there was a voice there. And so I went on to sing in the choir at school. I began lessons for music just before high school. And then when I went to high school, I went to the National School of the Arts, where I studied some classical music and some contemporary music there. And then UCT, where I studied jazz for a brief period of time. Came back to Joburg, got signed by Black Coffee, and the rest is history. So the way I would describe the style of music that I make is that it really is a reflection of my heart. It lives within the space of soul, R&B, and pop. But I've really played with many different kinds of artists in the studio, from your Spoke Matambos to your solos, to your Younger Chiefs, to your Casper Nyovests, to your Black Coffees and your Major Leagues. And so I think that I find myself always being able to explore different soundscapes. And I think what makes it distinctly me is that my voice is always quite clear and that my message is always quite sincere and vulnerable. It's always the truth of my heart that I share in the music. So when I am creating a song, the first thing that I'm always searching for is the melody. I think that the melody is really God's work, you know, it's His gift to us. And then the words are really my own story. So it really takes me like 3 seconds to know if I'm happy with the kind of production we're working on. Whether we're working on a beat or we're starting a song from scratch, I always know within the first few seconds if this is something I really want to work on or not. Usually, I have that feeling of what the song is about in that initial moment. And then what I do is that when I write songs, I do a 6-word story. And so with most of my songs, I try to encompass the entire story of the song in the first 6 words. And so if you were only to hear the first 6 words, you should know what the whole song's about already. And so I try to challenge myself every time I write. Sometimes it doesn't stick to that kind of formula, but most of the time I try to use my 6-word poems, and then that kind of allows me to unfold that story into a broader sense. And each word kind of gives you a theme or an idea of what needs to be explored within the song. So it makes it kind of easier. Sure, I think there's so many songwriters that I would love to collaborate with in the future, and producers. I think Male is one of those producers that I would really love to work with. An incredible producer from London. I think he's based in LA now. Pooh is one of those producers that I would really, really love to work with, also based in LA. Benny Blanco is someone that I've been like checking out a lot of his work recently, and he's written some of the most amazing songs that have kind of made an impact in pop music, and I've been really like checking out his catalog. Artists, I think Frank Ocean will always be at the top of my list. I think Her is one of those artists that I'd love to work with. I think John Legend, Sam Smith. Um, yeah, there's so many like incredible new voices coming out as well. I'm on TikTok all the time and I'm like discovering like so many beautiful, beautiful musicians overseas and locally. Locally right now, I'm so in love with this girl named Lusanda. She's an incredible, incredible voice. And then I would love to work with my friends again. You know, Zoe and Manana is always a fun one for me. Yeah, lots and lots of artists that I'd love to work with. Maclera is one of those artists. Leah Butler, one of those artists. So there's many, many artists. Well, I became aware of music publishing in high school when we had to do our music business practice at the time. It was part of the music course that we were doing. And so we had to learn about the different kind of publishers that exist, the collecting bodies and etc. And so we had to understand which body collects from which part, what are mechanical rights, what are publishing rights, all of those kinds of things. And so I think it's important for anyone who creates IP to know their rights, especially when it's written works, that there is ways to earn from that work that you create. Whether you contribute 3 words or 10 words, you have contributed something, you know. And so we may not realize the impact of our collaborations with people sometimes. And so it's important for us to have those conversations with the different artists who we sit with in studio sometimes and who we contribute towards, and understand how we can also make sure that our works are protected and that our ownership of those works is allocated to the right person, and that it can be preserved for the generation to come, you know? Because we've seen stories like Bobe, where this song was written eons ago and someone else owns the publishing to this music, and the family of the initial composer was not able to benefit from their father's contribution or creation. And so you end up with these massive lawsuits where people aren't correctly cited or credited for their work or even paid for their work. And so having a publisher kind of allows you to alleviate those kinds of issues. And it also allows you to have someone administratively who is supporting your work in terms of trying to extend its lifespan, but also making sure that it is credited and found in the right places and credited in the right way as well. I think that Share for me is a partnership that allows me to continue to create more works, by allowing me to have the financial support to do that and create that work, but also it alleviates the stress and worry of having to do all the administrative work that comes with being an artist and being a songwriter specifically. Being in partnership with a company like Share, which collects on our behalf and also does our admin, allows me to really rest assured that all of my things are in order when it comes to the collection bodies, the different ones which I am registered with, and which my music is registered as well. And so it's allowed me to have a peace of mind when it comes to making sure that my works are sitting in the right places and that they are watched and monitored in the right ways. If I wasn't a musician, I would definitely be a diplomat, or I would work in public policy. I was very involved in the Model United Nations when I was in high school. I took part at Sire House at Wits during my time there. And when I first started varsity, My first year of varsity was actually studying politics and economics. And then I quickly ran back to music in my second year when I realized that I actually loved to do music more. And that only came about because I asked myself the question, if I had to do something and I wasn't paid to do it, what would it be? And music was the answer. I think something that might be surprising that my fans don't know, it's more like it's a phobia. Like I'm terrified of chickens and like birds. I will leave a restaurant if there's too many birds around. And then mangihambe ngekhaya ngekwaZulu ngiyohlangana nami nalapho kunenkukhu khona. Like I will move out of its way as quickly as possible. Terrified of chickens. So what's next for Langa in the year of 2025? I will be dropping my sophomore album. It's called Therapy the Other Side. It's a very exciting new project that I've worked on with some incredible producers. It features some incredible artists like Kulichana, Something Soweto, Marcus Harvey, Maya, some really amazing artists, and we're excited to put out that project. What else? Oh, I shot a movie last year, so I have my first feature credit as a supporting cast, and I'm not playing myself. I'm actually playing a character. And we spent about 6 weeks shooting that movie, and so I'm excited for the movie to come out as well. Yeah, album, movie, and a couple big shows that I'm putting together. We're really excited to go around the country. We'll obviously be touring the album as well. So we'll be playing lots of shows around South Africa, the SADC region. Hopefully we get to go to the rest of the world and share this incredible music that we've made with some beautiful collaborators, songwriters, producers, composers. It's been a very fun past 3 years putting everything together. Yeah, I take long to put these projects together. It's been 5 years since my last album, so I'm back. Let's go.